Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's live stream for Real Watchers. Of course, my name is Garrett, and Adrian is muted. I didn't hear you there.
Oh, thank goodness. I said I'm Garrett, so good thing I didn't say anything.
It's a good thing we didn't broadcast that mistake. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Hope you are having a fantastic day so far. Adrian, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Getting better every day from my sickness last week, so always improving, feeling better. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, you contracted Hawaiian, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I did, and it was definitely not action, brother. I'll say that.
That's from everything you were saying.
How are you doing?
I am doing all right. You know, it's been an interesting week in the world of movies, so we get to talk about that. Not that many stories this week, but there's a big reason why. So we'll dive into that. But other than the movie world, it's been all right on my end.
That's good. So, glad to hear.
Getting a lot of hobbying done, as you can see my table full of hobby supplies behind me.
Me too.
Zach, contracted Hawaiian. Yeah. That's what we're calling your catchphrase. Again, I'm not appropriating.
Careful.
I'm holding that over. Might be the funniest joke. Hey. Well, I mean, I'm happy that it was a funny joke, but that means I got to work harder if that's the funniest one. Anyhow, alrighty, let's go ahead. Hello, Mr. Toxic Knots. Always a pleasure to see you. Let's go ahead and jump into our stories for this week. We got a really big one to start out with, and that is that as of Friday, the Screen Actors Guild is on strike, joining the Writers Guild of America in going on strike against the AMPTP, which is the Association of Motion Pictures, basically the studio system, and major streamers. And this is the first time there's been a double strike since 1963, which is pretty gosh darn big. Not only is this a huge double strike, it is essentially shutting down Hollywood, because if you don't have writers and you don't have actors, there's not a whole lot else you can do.
Yeah.
But just to kind of get some notions clear about the strike, it is not all about getting paid more. There are actually quite a few things as a part of the Actors Guild strike that are pretty substantial. Both the Writers Guild and the Actors Guild are, in fact, striking because they want streaming performance numbers to be public, because TV shows and movies are notoriously public for how well they do. We talk about how bad movies do and how good they do all the time, but streaming, no one knows, because it's only kept internally, and because of that, they want to get any kind of residuals and pay if a show does better or if a movie does better on streaming, which is completely understandable. But the biggest thing one of the other big things for both is the use of AI in the future, particularly the Actors Guild. As I was telling Adrian just before this, the studios came to the Actors Guild and wanted to pay actors a day of work to scan their digital likeness and be able to use it whenever they want without the actor's consent. And that is, it's downright horrible and dystopian. So we're glad that they went on strike. And of course, there are obviously pay issues and things like that. A lot of struggling actors can't afford health insurance and things like that. So there's a lot that they're fighting for. It's not just Matt Damon and Robert Downey Jr. not getting paid enough for their roles. It's a lot more than that.
And I think AI, it's a little dicey, right? Especially when there's money involved, which is what they're protesting. But for at-home use, I use your 3D image scan all the time for myself.
Yeah.
So I just feel like I'm not trying to gain any money off of that and your likeness. It's just for personal use and pleasure. So that's totally different.
That says a lot about your type if you're using me for pleasure. I'm sorry for you and your psyche for that. So this is huge. With 2 being on strike and essentially no productions being live in Hollywood, I really think that we're going to see the studios actually coming to the table, hopefully, and trying to get this sorted out as quickly as possible. Because right before the Actors Guild went on strike, the studios essentially said that they were going to starve out the Writers Guild so that they would come back essentially and take lesser than what they deserve. And that's not okay. So hopefully this all gets resolved pretty soon.
Yeah, no, agreed. And I mean, kind of going right into the next one, because everyone cares about this franchise a lot. Deadpool 3, Venom 3, and a lot of other films have completely shut down production, coming to a complete standstill. This comes off the heels of us getting production stills from Deadpool 3 that got everybody really excited. And then the next week, we're getting a complete halt of all production. So this is definitely big news. Like Garrett was talking about, this is really going to put a hold on Hollywood for a while. This is the first we're starting to hear about things being completely 100% shut down. This is going to delay the timeline for pretty much every film in the foreseeable future. Weeks, months, depends how long this goes.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. A lot of things are needing to get made. We just came out of COVID. Studios were reeling from that, and now it's really a tough time for Hollywood right now, which, again, with everything we're hearing about the studios, hey, they deserve it. But let's go ahead and get on to some positive news, and that is that the Miyazaki film we've been talking about for a while that had no marketing officially has its English title, which is The Boy and the Heron. It is, of course, Hayao Miyazaki's new film, and it has premiered in Japan as of Friday, and is now the highest opening day release at least for a Miyazaki film or a Studio Ghibli film, but it is one of the country's highest earning first day releases ever, which is not to be surprised because it's Miyazaki. It's like if Walt Disney came back and made one.
It's also like a whole new era since the last one was released, where things are way different.
Yeah, and a lot of extra people are saying this could be the end of an era because it was completely hand drawn, and you do not see that anymore. Yeah, so very very interesting stuff there. Hopefully we should be getting this in the US by the end of the year. It is going to be premiering at the Venice Film Festival, so it will be awards contender material. At least it'll be capable of being nominated, which it will. It'll probably be nominated for animated picture for sure. Yeah, and it's going to be serious competition between this and Spider-Verse 2, I think, for animated film of the year. Yeah,
completely agree. But jumping back to sad news, we should probably do a better job of grouping these.
Yeah.
The Oppenheimer stars did walk out of the premiere when the strike was announced. This was kind of known beforehand that they were all ready to. Christopher Nolan, the directors, the entire group was all prepared for the group to walk out if the strike was announced. Everyone is in line and in support, as well as Christopher Nolan, the director, fully in line and in support. So they did. The red carpet was canceled. And the premiere did not happen with any actors. So definitely a big stance, especially with one of the biggest anticipated movies of the entire year. To completely follow suit with the strike is a big move, and I think a huge show of faith in what the strike can do.
Yeah, I mean, we got to be clear. The premiere did happen. It's just the actors were not there for it.
That's what I said. With that happened with any actors. Yeah.
Just so that there's no confusion, like there was still it did still show, people were able to see it. So we'll talk about that in a moment. But
before we move on, there's actually a comment that I think aligns before we move on from this stuff.
What if the vibe from the directors on the strike seems like a unified front could help progress things? Like you said, Christopher Nolan himself is on the side of the actors. I don't think you're seeing anyone who is not on the side of the actors regarding this. I mean, the Directors
Guild strike,
they already renegotiated their contracts before their expiry hit. But there is rumors and rumblings that a lot of directors are not happy with it. So we could see something in the future. I don't think you're going to see anything right now because they were able to renegotiate before the deadline.
I wonder if we'll see like a walkout of sorts, just a denial to work.
I think the longer this goes on, I think you'll definitely see it. Yeah, for sure. But thank you for bringing up that comment. It was definitely a good one. So, we could see like Editors Guild. We could see all these things start to falter because people deserve to be paid more. So, yeah. But on the same topic, indie productions for movies and television that are not affiliated with the AMPTP, are able to continue production. Actually, between the time that I wrote this and now. Actually, while I was sitting at dinner, there was a list of 39 movies and television shows that have resumed production because they are independent, and the studios that are making it are not members of the AMPTP. So, like the biggest studio that is not a member is A24. all of their productions are waived and are ongoing, which is good for the actors involved with those. They're able to keep getting paid. Yeah, I mean, hopefully the indie studios can help put some pressure on too, because there's a lot of actors, like Mark Ruffalo is one of the biggest ones, who's stressing, hey, go work for indie movies because they're still going to get made and they need names to help get them more money. And indies are where we're seeing a lot of the originality right now.
Yeah, I
we're
think
starting
this
to see
might go hand in hand with a bubble bursting where we're going to start getting a lot more, not low budget films, but lower budget films with huge names in them, which I think only opens the door to some incredible ideas in film being put to screen. So I'm excited.
There's one we're going to talk about when it comes to the trailer section. So, I mean, yeah. So indie movies are moving ahead depending on if they are tied to the studio system or not. So we have yet to see.
All right, moving on. We do have the sequel prequel to Pet Sematary called Bloodlines. It is coming to Paramount Plus directly on October 6th, the day before my birthday. So kind of exciting. I mean, I thought the redo of the new one was okay. I know it got a lot of pretty good feedback, but I thought it was just okay. This will probably, I'm glad it's going to streaming. Like, I feel like I'll definitely go watch it. I don't know if I would have gone to theaters to see this one.
Yeah, in a way, it kind of speaks that maybe the studio isn't really confident in it, or it could just be because it's a lower budget and no real big names are attached. But hey, horror has been having a great year, so I think that if they can nail this one, hopefully it's better than like Firestarter was last year. Well, I just did so. Moving right along, talking more about Oppenheimer. The first initial reactions from critics and reviewers and bigger names in the industry have come out and are praising the film as a masterpiece, with a legendary filmmaker, Paul Schrader, calling the film the best, most important film of this century, which is high praise because we just need to put that nuclear button away and never touch it again.
Yeah, no, I think this is, I mean, we were talking about it before. I have my tickets to the midnight premiere. Of course, seeing it, I'm lucky enough to live right next to one of the actual IMAXs that's showing it in 70 millimeter. I know Garrett got one near him too. He's trying to see it this weekend.
Yep.
This is a huge film. Christopher Nolan, I'm a huge fan. So is Garrett. Like, just everything about this movie seems like it's going to be absolutely incredible. I cannot wait.
Yeah, really, really excited to go see this movie. Actually, it's kind of interesting. Like I don't really talk about family too much on here. My dad hates going to the theater because usually there's too many people, it's too loud or whatever. But this movie has actually won him over, and we're going to go see it in the theater. So I so
also
excited.
Think it's funny that it's going to be the loudest explosion ever in a movie theater. Seems like, wow, I hate noise. Oh my god. Gargoyles live action film coming soon from Kenneth Branagh. This is actually kind of came out of left field for me. I feel like I had no clue that this was coming, but Kenneth Branagh, sure, I mean, I'm down for it.
Yeah, he's directed good films in the past. He's also an actor. You've seen him in a lot of different things. He'll be in Oppenheimer this weekend. Yeah. Kind of a surprise, and it's like, okay, I don't know if this is actually going to happen anymore because of the Actors and Writers Guild, but hey, we'll see what happens. Next up, legendary satire director Armando Iannucci, who directed films like the In the Loop and The Death of Stalin, is said to be adapting Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb, into a stage play. And I think this is fantastic. I love this movie, and I think it's more important now than ever, especially with all the fiery tempers we have in politics. I think it is 100% a good decision. I mean, you could even remake the movie,
I also think that, I mean, I'm a huge fan of stage plays. I always try to go see them whenever I can, and I feel like we're at a point where, especially with the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child play, having like real special effects, practical on set, I feel like this movie could really be done well with those special effects, and I would love to see it in person. I think it's going to be pretty magical.
100%. We actually have a relevant comment. Let's go ahead and bring it up. Zach says, again, after reeling from COVID, how do you think theaters handle future downtime from the strike? Seems like a major ripple from the strike could be summer 2024, where a lot of money is made. Yeah, I think you're definitely going to see an effect. But I think it will probably depend on how long the strike is going for. I think, if because the Actors Guild is striking at the same time, again, hopefully it gets resolved quicker, and you'll see, a little bit of a delay. There are some films that are even potentially delaying their release. I know Blue Beetle was discussed to potentially be delayed because actors can't promote it. It's part of their strike. So I think theaters will be fine because they'll still be open. It's not like they're closing down. They can easily do, they do reissues all the time where you can go see, older movies. I think Regal, I know Regal does it. I don't know about AMC or Cinemark, but they always do like a Ghibli Summerfest, which always gets a lot of people out. There are films from all over the world that they could show instead. Japan, India, we saw how big RRR was last year, and that was from India. You could definitely make event releases out of those. There's a lot that they could do, actually, I feel. And I think that while they won't be making as much money as they are with like tentpole release films, I also think there's enough made as well that's already completed filming to sustain the theaters for a little while. I think we should be fine for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I also think we will probably start to see during that downtime a lot of like bundle deals and date night promotions that will be like, oh, this movie's playing, like Love Actually playing, $30 you get a large popcorn, 2 drinks, and you get to see the movie. Like, I think we'll start to see a lot of kind of fun marketing campaigns if there does end up being a ton of downtime. And like Garrett said, there's so many, like you could literally have an Indiana Jones montage back to back to back to back for $100 and let people just hang out all day. And I mean, there's so many things you can do.
Yeah, easily re-release films. I mean, if you have the chance to go see like, Wizard of Oz, Casablanca, big films like those, and they re-release them in the big screen, you should probably do it. Also, it helps your theater, but also it's a good way to go see those movies on a big screen.
Yeah.
Zach, not sure how Oppenheimer outdoes Artemis Fowl, the most important movie of this century. Well, I can already tell you there are 2 scenes of a man eating dirt and shitting it out super fast in Oppenheimer. So there's already one reason.
Yeah, and sorry, Zach, it seems like there might be some confusion. Artemis Fowl actually isn't in contention for most important movie of the century. It has already been deemed the most important film ever. So this is kind of a subcategory, whereas Artemis Fowl is a little bit above all the other films ever to exist.
That's a very fine point.
You may have noticed that it's actually not on the like highest grossing list anymore. It was for about a day, but they took it down because it actually dwarfed every film that's on it, so they didn't want to have it up there.
Yeah, I mean, hey, think about The Room, right? The Room made no money when it was in theaters, and it's a cult classic, and a lot of people, hey, it's just like The Room, baby. That hurt to actually say out loud. Cassidy, whoa, Gargoyles, the 90s show? Yes, the animated Disney show, going to be adapted finally into live action. It's been talked about for years.
Maybe.
Initially, what's his name? Jordan Peele was attached to writing or directing it, but I think he's willing to focus more on original films. So, Garrett, do you have a date to go see Oppenheimer or Barbie? Are you talking about a romantic date or an actual date and time? Because I have neither. And then Zach,
Garrett's trying to finish during the nuke explosion, leaning back.
That's me, babe. Zach, Artemis living on Mars. The rest of us just here on the ground. I think Artemis is on Pluto at this point. He shot for the stars and landed on Pluto. Getting back into the stories here.
Snow White leaked pictures, you may have seen them, from the film set, and the cast are actually confirmed fake by the studio. Could be up in the air. I feel like they did receive a ton of backlash initially, based off of casting choices and just direction of the film, so this could be kind of a backpedaling move of, wait, no, we didn't mean any of that. Like, that's not real. But they did claim them as fake, so far we have nothing to go off of anymore.
Yeah, I mean, usually you'd get radio silence and something like this from the studio, which is Disney at this point. But they came out and said that they're fake, and I'm inclined to believe them. Which is kind of funny because I feel like you got backlash from like both sides.
Yeah,
you had people who were like, "Oh, why do you have colored people there?" Like the typical pro-Trump morons. But then you have like the people who are like, maybe you should hire people who are like actual little people to be your dwarves
instead of like a ragtag team of random people.
They're not even dwarves at that point.
No.
I don't know. So like it's clearly fake. I mean, although I did hear something that the girl who is dressed up as Snow White is the actual set stand-in for Rachel Ziegler, but I don't know if that's true. It could also just be distant models or something like that for like longer shots. Who knows? But they said it's fake. Moving right along, we talked about this last week. We're really concerned about this movie, but hey, Borderlands will be releasing in 2024. As per Jamie Lee Curtis, who plays Dr. Tennis in the movie.
Cool.
Okay. Hopefully it's not shit with how many writers have been attached after it's been shot.
Yeah, it's going to go through a lot of changes, I'm sure, and it's probably not going to be good, but fingers crossed. In terms of things that are showing up to be pretty good, Barbie's initial reviews are out, with quotes saying that it is one of the summer's best, being above an 85% on Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes. So pretty positive feedback, especially from Metacritic. No reviews in yet for Oppenheimer, so there's no like initial feedback yet on it, except for all the buzz that's going on. But we will have to wait and see, as we like to say.
It's a Nolan movie. I'm imagining it's going to be at least above a 70, like for sure. Like what's kind of interesting is like a lot of people love Interstellar, and Interstellar has like a 70 on Metacritic. But like that movie's appreciation grew over time. So I think it's like one of the things where if the reviews are lower when it first comes out, they will raise over time.
I think
all Nolan movies are like that.
And there's a lot to his movies. Like I think it's going to be interesting to see how it comes out.
Yeah. Really think it's going to be unlike any other biopic, historical drama that we've ever seen. Snow White's nudes got leaked again. Hey, the fappening was crazy.
And this time turns out she was black, which was a real shock for fans.
Yeah, Snow White isn't the name. We'll just say that. We're on YouTube. If we're flagged as an adult channel, we're fine. But that's it for the stories this week. Again, not too much going on because the strike is just dominating everything as far as entertainment news goes, and it's going to continue to. I imagine we're probably not going to hear a whole lot next week. So, hey, be prepared for some boring stories. But what was not boring this week were the trailers we got. We got some pretty good ones. Anything stand out to you?
Mine's easy. The Creator. I cannot wait for this movie. An original sci-fi film that looks good has me so excited I almost can't even wait for this to come out. I feel like I want to go to the studio and demand that I see it now.
I actually want to double check and see when that's coming out. I don't know the exact date.
I think it's like September 13th.
It is September 29th.
Oh, man. How cool would that have been?
That's so annoying. I want to see it now. There was a great YouTube comment I saw in the trailer that said, wait, an all-original sci-fi action movie on a low budget that has complete visual effects? Who thought we'd see that in 2023?
Yeah, seriously. But I think what's great about this is this movie is showing that whether it's amazing or good or even not, it's showing that it can be done for this budget, for this scale of film at this production level. And that means it's opening doors for future creators to make things that they want with certain budgets. Yeah. And that's huge. Yeah,
hopefully the movie is good. And I think if it is good, it's going to get the attention it needs. And it's really going to bring a spotlight to original filmmaking again. Yeah. Hopefully it can do for original films what Top Gun did for the franchise sequel. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's also not a trailer, but I did want to point out there was a 5-minute opening look at Oppenheimer that came out this week.
I didn't see
it. Was a 5-minute video. I almost didn't watch it because I want to go in as blind as possible. I already thought the trailer was one of the best trailers I've ever seen. This 5-minute look had me chills in if a 5-minute look at the film can give me chills and not anxiety but those kind of anxious feelings, I don't know what the film's gonna do. And I'm so excited.
I can't.
That's a really good video. If you want to take a look at it, I think it's just called Oppenheimer Opening Look. It's 5 minutes. Fantastic video. Alrighty. Moving right along, we go ahead and get over to Garrett's Review Corner. I didn't watch that many movies this week, but we'll go ahead and talk about what I did watch. First up was The Time Machine from 2002, starring Guy Pearce. I said, while Guy Pearce is a great lead and there's some fun time travel, the last act completely falls flat. It opts to have subpar action and a bewildering choice that makes it feel so unsatisfactory. I did give it a 51 out of 100. After that was Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. Stunning production design, effects, and makeup help make this sequel just as good, if not slightly better, than the original. Characters are more fleshed out, even if the villain's motivation isn't quite so interesting, and there are a few quirky comedy moments that get in the way. Not the best, in my opinion, but it is a fantastic movie. Great production design and makeup if you're into watching movies for that kind of a reason. After that was an indie movie that came out in 2018 called Hotel Artemis. This movie takes a lot of inspiration from John Wick and how it tries to build a universe, but it doesn't really quite nearly hit the heights of John Wick. The performances here are fine, especially Bautista, Jodie Foster, and Sterling K. Brown. They're all great in the film. And it's always a pleasure to see actors act against type, like Charlie Day acting as a slimy arms dealer was really fun. However, there's a pointless plot about riots going on, and there's a really limp ending that just kind of makes the film feel mediocre. I think it was trying to shoot for the stars, didn't quite hit it. Gave it a 65. After that, last night, I watched Kung Fu Hustle, which is free to watch on YouTube. I gave it a 76. It's bizarre, it's action-packed, and it's fun. Kung Fu Hustle is wonderfully paced, and has a fun feeling to it, but it definitely suffers from a lower budget and some bad-looking visual effects. Still, it's a great, not-so-serious Kung Fu film. So, gave it a 76. A lot of fun if you're looking for something really wacky and out there to watch that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
If you want to see any other reviews, you can check out my Letterboxd here. There's my name. Don't wear it out. I don't know. I don't have anything to finish that up.
Two things. Hellboy 2, The Golden Army is actually one, I feel like my weird guilty pleasures. I think about that movie all the time.
It's great.
Yeah, it's pretty good, actually. So I agree with your rating. And then Hotel Artemis, I really liked this movie. I think it would have gone better had they done the John Wick format more, where they had like a person in the world visit the Hotel Artemis and then release the film Hotel Artemis. Like, it would almost be like doing John Wick, and now we're getting the Continental TV show. Like, I want the world more so than just this hotel, but they did do a pretty good job. Like, it's was invested.
It's definitely, it tries to be unique, and I give it a lot of credit for that. It's just there's a whole plot point with the riots going on, and it feels like it's just introduced to bring tension in, which doesn't really feel
it's
good.
To shut the hotel down, like it's to make it confined.
It doesn't really work in my opinion, but that's just me. That one was on HBO, and I would recommend it if you're looking for something fun and unique to watch. Comments here. We've got Zach saying The Creator and Starfield in the same month. Yes. All the sci-fi nerds, you and me, Adrian.
Garrett's body took a screenshot.
Hey,
got so excited.
It's the same date I'm bringing to Oppenheimer. You know, it's gonna be a crazy month. Yeah, can't wait for both of them. Danelle, no spoilers. We're not spoiling anything. Not going to spoil anything at all. I don't know what we're talking about, but we're not spoiling anything. Zach, curious on the creative process for the movies picked for reviews. Seems like a crazy quadruple feature. Honestly, it's whatever looks good on whatever. I will just like zoom through all my kind of streaming apps, and I'll just hit one at random, and then I do the same thing on the app, and I click on a movie, or maybe there's a movie I want to watch. I did want to check out Hotel Artemis, and I did want to watch what was it? Hellboy 2. The other ones I was just like, I never saw that one. That looked fun.
Might as well,
you know?
Yeah.
I definitely do miss, like, when we did the podcast and we had like a structure of what we were watching. I do miss that. Like, oh, I gotta watch this movie this week or whatever. Because having choices is hard.
That's so funny because I love the choice. Like, I love getting to watch what I want when I want. So that's.
I've definitely had nights though where it's like, it'll be like what 7:30 or like 8 o'clock, and I'll sit there looking through movies and I'm watching like the trailers for them, and that ended up taking me to 9:30, and I'm like, well, it's too late to start a movie now.
I wish that Netflix and any streaming app, I wish that I wish that Netflix or any AI was capable of like taking what you watch and being better at predicting what you would like, so that I would be more inclined to click the surprise me button and have it show me a film that I would like. Like, I feel like it's not good enough yet, but I would love if that feature became more usable. And I think we might get close, especially with AI kind of taking off, but that would help so many nights of knowing that there's like a 58, even like just more than 50% chance that you're going to like what it plays would be huge.
Yeah. Honestly, I've used it. I remember using it once or twice, and it was all like both times I used it, it just started Stranger Things. And I was like, what?
That's okay. I want the bias out of it. Like, I don't really want it to have any sway on new content. I just want it to go from a list of things that I like.
Yeah, 100%. Cassidy, we should do a viewers pick week for Garrett's Review Corner. 100%.
Let's do it now.
If you guys want, in the comments, go ahead. I'll say each of you share a movie. Pick a movie and put it in the comments.
Wow.
And I mean, hey, I don't have a life. I'll watch them all.
No, you're gonna watch all of them?
I'll try and watch as many as I can. I will write them down and whenever I have time to watch.
I think she's saying everyone picks one movie for you to watch, or you pick one from everyone's selection.
I guess that makes more sense.
Can you imagine if we got like 10 viewers and suddenly you were having to watch like 30? Could you?
Yeah. At some point when we actually get a lot of viewers, it's like, crap.
Pick one. Everyone write a movie, and Garrett will pick one. I pick it? Should I pick from the list?
There you go. Yeah, everyone put a movie in, and then Adrian will pick what I watch.
Kaz hitting hard right off. Yeah,
and Kevin picking one of my favorites too, which I haven't reviewed yet. Zach, having choices is hard. What a bar. Yep. Alrighty, I'm seeing some movies come in, so we'll go ahead and wait until those pile up a little bit. We'll
go ahead and revisit after I go over what's coming out this week. We'll go back and visit Garrett's selection for the week. All right, lots of big coming out this weekend, just big. First, we have Oppenheimer coming out on Thursday night, if you're joining me at the midnight premiere. The story of American scientist J. Robert Oppenheimer and his role in the development of the atomic bomb. Certainly one of the biggest releases of the year, followed shortly or identically with Barbie coming out on Friday. To live in Barbie land is to be a perfect being in a perfect place, unless you have a full-on existential crisis, or you're a Ken. Also, one of the biggest releases of the entire year coming out on the same day. I did see a note real quick that this happened. The last time that this kind of thing happened was Mamma Mia and The Dark Knight Rises. Both of those came out on the exact same day. So technically,
same movie.
So those two walked so that Barbenheimer could run. That's what's happened.
You were born into the musical.
Also coming out, we have Natty Knox, a horror film. On Halloween Eve, a small-town babysitter and the kids she is looking after must survive the horrors of serial killer Abner Honeywell. Actually seems pretty good. The posters definitely seems very cool. Then we have Theater Camp coming out. Tony Award winner Ben Platt and Molly Gordon star in the original comedy Theater Camp as Amos and Rebecca Diane, lifelong best friends and drama instructors at a rundown camp in upstate New York. Seems like a fun camping movie. Then we have Cobweb, another horror movie, Year of Horror. Horror strikes when an 8-year-old boy named Peter tries to investigate the mysterious knocking noises that are coming from inside the walls of his house, and a dark secret that his sinister parents kept hidden from him. Seems fun. Then we have See You on Venus. 2 misfit American teens travel to Spain in search of a girl's birth mother. As they tour through the picturesque cities and fall in love, they discover the most important question isn't who gave you life, but what you decide to do with it. Then last but not least, coming straight to Netflix, we have They Cloned Tyrone. We have a series of eerie events thrust an unlikely trio onto the trail of a nefarious government conspiracy in this pulpy mystery caper. This one seems super fun. It's definitely got a really good cast to it, so I'm probably going to check this one out. A little bit of a side note is that all except Oppenheimer and Barbie are limited release, so they aren't playing in every single theater. You'll definitely have to travel at least a little bit to find them. Pretty much the only reason is because no one wants to release widely against these 2 films, so everyone's doing limited releases. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some of these on next week's full wide release. As they try to kind of gain their own box office weekend. So there you have it.
Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff this weekend. Oppenheimer and Barbie definitely the biggest ones. I do want to check out They Cloned Tyrone as well, but unfortunately Netflix just revoked my access because I'm not in the same household as the people who pay for it.
Really?
Which sucks. Yeah, now I gotta start paying for it myself. Awesome.
How fun.
Anyway, I'm seeing we have a lot of comments coming in.
Yeah, I'm actually building I see a suggestion to do a wheel spinner, so I'm going to do that while you keep talking.
Alrighty. We've got a lot of movies that have been come up here, which I won't mention the movies, but I will pick up the other comment star. You should do a wheel spin generator pick movie. Yep, we're gonna do that. Nadia, hey Nadia, how are you doing? Death Sentence, my favorite movie of all time. Oh, it's a movie. Okay, we'll add it to the list. Zach says, any opinions on Dead Reckoning sort of flopping on its opening weekend? Honestly, with what's been happening to the box office this year, I'm not too surprised, which is actually kind of intriguing. So it's definitely not like a movie getting bad reviews that's holding it back, because The Flash failed because it had really mediocre reviews, and Indiana Jones only barely broke even, and that had mediocre reviews. So the fact that Dead Reckoning is flopping but has really good reviews is indicative of a larger problem. And I think a lot of people are starting to get franchise fatigue in a general sense, not like one particular franchise. I think a lot of people want more original content. So a lot more movies. I agree with the wheel spinner. Adrian's building can confirm. Toxic Nos, Dead Reckoning was great. Okay. Did you go see Dead Reckoning, Adrian?
I did. I was going to talk about it in my weekly, but I really enjoyed it. I think it's probably the best. It's definitely more serious. They've definitely taken a more serious turn in recent years. But this one was extremely good, and I cannot wait for part 2.
Yeah. I still have to watch a lot of those movies, so maybe I'll put the first one on my list and kind of go in order.
All right. I have my wheel. Let me share my screen. And if everyone get your last minute votes in before we spin the wheel. And how many would you like to watch, Garrett?
We'll go for 2. Why not? We got a last minute edition from Danelle. Let me check on something. I want to see if I've already reviewed a film that was suggested. Yes, I have already reviewed A Bug's Life, so you can remove that from the list. Surprisingly, a lot of people picking movies that I have not reviewed yet. I mean, I'm sure I've seen most of these, but I haven't reviewed them yet. So.
All right, let me pull this up here. Share screen. All right, everyone. I scroll down. Can everyone see the wheel? Make it bigger for you.
I can see it on the screen. Hopefully,
is it legible?
Sees it.
Okay.
What's Andre, real quick?
It's a movie about a seal.
Haven't heard of it.
Well, you don't have to look it up. We'll spin it.
Oh, okay.
All right. Spinning in 3, 2, 1. Nadia, Death Sentence, one of her favorite horror movies.
And now we'll weight on my shoulders.
We'll select a second one. And Cassidy with The Land Before Time. What a double feature. And then we'll spin it just to see what the runner-up would have been. Who missed out? Ah, one of your favorites, The Zodiac. Oh! Yep, Zodiac. You don't have to watch it.
I love that movie. I'm going to watch it anyway. So I'll watch 3 of them.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, 3 very similar movies. Alrighty. Kind of moving on with a couple of these comments before we get going. Cassidy, what rating did you give A Bug's Life? That is a good question. Bug's Life, I gave it a 70. I enjoy the movie. I wouldn't say that it's one of Pixar's best. I think it's a little too formulaic, and I always the liar revealed plot I've never really enjoyed, and I think that movie really hinges on Flick being like that sympathetic liar. So, which I'm not really that big a fan of that storyline, but I think the movie is good. It's the second film Pixar made, and it still has a lot of roughness to it. It's got a lot of really good jokes in it. Again, I think a 70 is pretty accurate. Horror more, yes, of course. Don't be upset if I give it a low rating. So, just depends. We'll check it out. I've heard good things from you though. So, Joey, yes. Positive exclamation. Toxic. Rigged. Sorry. Armageddon. Yes. Well, we didn't get Armageddon, but I got 2 twice. Oh, well. Cassidy, I'm so intrigued about the Bug's Life or about
I think
Land Before Time. So sad for She's the Man. Okay. Well,
it was really close for Zodiac and She's the Man.
Armageddon is my 14th favorite movie of all time.
It's a great movie.
I love how specific that is. That's 14th. Nadia, I'm okay. I'm used to people not having the correct opinions on it. Hey, if you want to talk about not having the correct opinions, we could talk all day. Just kidding. I love you, Nadia. But I think you'll like it. Hey, I haven't seen it. I've only heard good things from you. So I'm going in with no expectations. So, alrighty. Well, let's go ahead and wrap things up with our last part of the entire stream, aside from whatever we're watching. I'm talking about the box office, what happened last weekend. Coming in at first is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 with $54.7 million. Not too surprising. Big franchise release film. Number 2, the QAnon Wet Dream Sound of Freedom coming in at second place for $27.3 million. Yeah, sure. Third movie, Insidious The Red Door, dropping to third place with $13 million. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny falling to fourth place with $12.3 million. And Elemental falling to fifth place with $9.1 million. So, pretty, aside from Sound of Freedom making money, kind of a standard weekend at the box office.
Why are you against Sound of Freedom?
Oh, it's got Jim Caviezel in it, and he's a QAnon nut. And a lot of people are making up false conspiracy theories about theaters putting things in their drinks and refusing to show the movie. It's a conspiracy theory haven.
But it's also like a pretty important film.
The message is important. The movie itself is just mediocre from what all the reviews say. It's just people are going into this movie that's supposed to be serious, like it's Top Gun. And that's what a lot of people have been saying. Like they're just, I don't know, just bugs me. Anything involving QAnon just bugs me. So, but that's it for the box office this week.
Awesome.
Adrian, what are you currently watching? What are you up to in your free time?
Like I said, I did go see Mission Impossible in IMAX. That was incredible. Highly recommend seeing it in IMAX. I've been playing Pikmin in preparation for Pikmin 4 release. Just beat the second one today. And if you haven't played it in a while, you're not ready. It is what separates the boys from the men, getting every single treasure in that game. I have not screamed at a console like that in years. The sudden loss of half of my Pikmin was devastating, to say the least, and very tragic. And then I'm also on the final season of the TV show SWAT, which still highly recommend. I first recommended it on this like a few months ago. Really, really good. It's getting its 6th and final season right now, or maybe it's over, but it's not on Netflix, but the first 5 are, so highly recommend it.
Okay. Honestly, I haven't been doing too much aside from the movies that I have talked to you guys about from this week. I've been doing a lot of hobbying, a lot of miniature painting, a lot of building models and stuff. So that's mostly what I've been doing when I'm not working. So, and then helping with all sorts of other stuff going on around the house and with the family. So
nice.
We got some comments. Danelle, interesting take on Bug's Life. Or Sound of Freedom. Yeah, I'm confused on which one you're talking about. Nadia, miss playing Siege with y'all. Let's play sometime. 100%. Still have it installed. I got to get some of those new operators.
I have to reinstall it, but I do have fun playing Siege.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I've heard it's got a little bit of a power creep problem right now. Just the new operators are more powerful than the existing ones. So, like, if you don't buy the operators or earn them, then it can be a little tough to hang in there. But hey, I haven't played for a while, so would love to start playing again. But yeah, well, if you got any last minute comments, go ahead and get those in and we can talk about them. Go ahead and address a couple things, comments, concerns, criticisms, whatever you want. While we're waiting for those comments to come in, Adrian, where can people follow us online if they don't already?
Real Watchers on Instagram is the #1 place to follow us. I didn't post today, but I normally do every Tuesday. And you can always catch us, and we post on YouTube and on Twitch, and then we live stream on YouTube and Twitch every Tuesday at 7 p.m. So you can make sure to log on and catch us. We do movie news, and then on YouTube specifically, make sure to hit the like, bell, subscribe, all that good stuff, because Garrett does put in some really long hours and some really hard work into some really good videos that have been well received. So highly recommend sticking around for those. And we have a good one coming in the works, from what I hear.
Yeah, a lot of fun stuff coming. Still doing a lot of research. Takes a lot of time to write these videos, especially when it's not my job. My job is not doing the channel. So, yeah, excited for some couple of things coming up. Nadia, hashtag Sledgemeyers. We haven't done that in so long. I'll definitely want to do that again. Cassie says so down. And then I says yay at ass. Yeah. Way to go ahead and just call someone that on the live stream. Wonderful. I'm just kidding. You're good. Well, other than that, sorry was off chat. What I miss? Not a whole lot. Talked about the box office from last week, and excuse me, you were doing. Yeah, I think you were gone for the movies that I'll be watching for next week that were audience picked. So it was Death Sentence, Land Before Time, and Zodiac that I'll be watching the three of those. Which actually, out of curiosity, is Death Sentence on it? I want to see where these movies are streaming on. If anyone wants to watch them before next week, and we can talk about it after the show. Doesn't look like Death Sentence is streaming anywhere. Which means I'll probably just have to rent it. No big deal.
Nadia probably has a copy, it sounds like.
Oh, maybe. Land Before Time. God, it's been so long since I've seen it. It's on Netflix. Wonderful. I don't have Netflix anymore. Okay, so that will be available as well. And then I don't remember what Zodiac's on. Nothing again. It's a red book for Garrett. It's all right. I'm used to it. I'll still watch those three though by next week. I have 7
copies of the movie.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute, I completely forgot. Joey, Garrett, do you have a blog? I do have one, but I don't really update it as much as I should. The easiest way to keep up on anything that I do is my Letterboxd, which is probably the closest thing I have to a blog. So, just getting 2 copies of the movies. That's nothing to shy at. I think I have. I don't know. There's something I have at least 3 copies of for reviews. Again, what's it called? Letterboxd is the only thing. But I see another comment you have here. Kevin, I have Zodiac. Good to know. Have you watched it yet? I know. I keep recommending it to you, but have you actually watched it yet? Then Joey, a Real Watchers blog would be sick. Yeah, that would be if we do one that's kind of like tailored to the channel. Kind of fun, you know.
I mean, movies. You could just rename yours to Real Watchers.
It's true. No, I'm saying like just retheming it, like retooling.
Yeah,
what's been done already. Because like my blog also had like music reviews and other things on there too that I did. So, Joey, I'll follow Letterboxd. Yes, if you need that, there again is the username. I think Adrian has one as well, but I don't think you update it as frequently, or if at all. And then, nope, haven't watched it yet. You got to get it. Nadia, when is the segment with you and Kevin going up? Well, way to spoil something we're working on. We are going to hopefully film the test for this new show, which will be a video series on YouTube, not a live stream. And if the test goes well and we both want to move forward with it, then we'll see, because it's going to take time to edit and get all that done. So it just depends on what's going on. Kevin, go ahead and text me after the show. We can go ahead and start talking about when we want to do a test recording. Zach, how do we drive up subs, boys? Trying to see Glizzy's near future.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell pretty much everyone you know. Be like, hey, these guys, they're good.
They don't even have to watch. Just subscribe.
Subscribing is free. You literally don't have to just click a button. That's it. It's fantastic. And it does more for us than anything else right now. 100%. Nadia, forget I said anything. Well, my memory's already like 5 seconds long, so I forgot I'm even supposed to be doing anything to begin with. Anyhow, cool. Any last minute things to get in? Any last minute questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, anything like that before we end for the evening? I do want to, I got some movies I need to start watching. Apparently,
I have Pikmin 3 to play.
I thought that's on Thursday.
Pikmin 4 is on Thursday.
Oh, okay. I forgot the third one already existed. My bad. I'm not a Nintendo person. You could probably tell.
Everyone should be a Pikmin person.
I played it once. One of the original ones on GameCube.
They all the first one. The first two were on GameCube.
I don't remember which one it was. It wasn't my kind of game at the time when it was out, and it's probably still not my type of game anymore, personally.
You know what's overrated, Zach? You.
Ooh, that's a.
What do you play, Madden?
Danelle says, "Is Pikmin multiplayer online?"
It is, yeah. The fourth one is going to be an online. It's not like full co-op or anything. It's just like battles against each other.
Mm-hmm. Hot Take Z has entered the chat. Woo, boy! Here he is.
It's just a shame you keep serving up L's.
How long will this go back and forth? How long will this volley last, everyone? Anyhow, alrighty. Adrian, anything else you want to share with the class before we? I don't know.
No, just living life. Be good to each other and be kind. And I hope you all have a great day.
Gee, if you could record that ooh sound for me. It's already my notification alert, so I'll probably just send you the MP3 file. I just saw Adrian's shirt, by the way. I love the shirt.
Thanks.
Where did you get that, Adrian? You want to share that story?
At Halloween Horror Nights last year. Went through the Nope experience. It was very fun. If you haven't seen Nope, it's very good. I really liked it.
Which, yeah, I mean, you weren't really too big a fan of the other Jordan Peele movies, so that's kind of huge to say that you thought that was really good.
Yeah, hey,
Joey, watch Nintendo make a Pikmin movie like Mario? Maybe?
It'd be really tough. The storyline of Pikmin is not that strong. It's more like a gameplay focused thing. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess they could do like collecting the treasures and stuff, but I think there's 3 cutscenes in the entirety of the first 2 games. Like, that's as much story as there is. So they could like flush in and fill in a lot of stuff, but I don't know. I think it's best saved for games with more plot, but who knows? Maybe having no plot would let them make a great movie because they could kind of fill all that in.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the story of Pikmin. I don't know how good it would be for a live action, like, or an animated film, even, really. Like, if it would be compelling enough.
That's what I'm like. You crash and then you spend 30 days controlling Pikmin to go get treasure and kill monsters, and then you take off, and that's the whole game.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised. We're getting Zelda. We're getting Mario. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked.
My comp for Pikmin would be Arby's.
Your comparison? Well, that's fine because Arby's has better food and better people.
It has the meats. No, you're thinking of Papa John's.
No, I'm thinking.
Better ingredients, better pizza, not better food, better people. Same cadence of the phrase.
Better food and better people is a Parks and Recreation reference, or it's actually an Amy Poehler specifically reference from Baby Mama.
Gotcha. I haven't seen Baby Mama in a long time. I should rewatch that. Anyhow, alrighty, everyone. Well, hope you all have a fantastic evening. Zach says people who love it, and their arteries sure love it.
Zach,
too.
I think you need to confirm. Have you played through a Pikmin game?
Have you eaten Arby's?
Because I feel like you're talking a lot, and I just need you to confirm.
I'm getting a big game talked over here. Anyhow, but everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for continuing to join us for these live streams. We will be live next week, 7 p.m., same time, same place, and I have your 3 movies to watch. So we'll watch them then. Have a great night.
See ya.